What if I told you that everything that you've been told about real estate investing from the outside looking in has been a lie? And after watching this video, you will have a totally different outlook on real estate investing as a whole. Well, here are 5 lies about real estate investing that you probably believe. The first being real estate is passive. With all the TikTok real estate gurus on the internet right now saying that all you have to do is purchase a couple properties and you'll be retired living on a beach is absolutely insane. Regardless of what they say, you could never actually truly be 100% hands-off in a portfolio that you manage. And honestly, I wouldn't want to. The reason that I wouldn't want to be 100% passive and hands-off is because you are putting everything that you built in your whole portfolio at risk. You are essentially letting someone run your business that has no shared interest or ownership in your portfolio. And one thing that I've learned very fast in this industry is that no one loves your properties more than you do. Now, there is a way to create less work for you, and that is to either hire a property manager or a portfolio manager. But even then, it's not passive at all. I remember when my wife and I purchased our first 4-unit, we had already had a duplex at the time. We were managing it. It was going so smoothly. We barely did anything, just collecting the rents. We thought with this brand new 4-unit, we'd be doing the exact same thing, but we were so wrong. We quickly came to terms with the fact that 6 tenants was too much for us to manage with our day jobs and our personal lives, and we decided that we still wanted to invest in real estate, but we were to hire a property manager. And now, instead of us having to do the day-to-day, communicate with the tenants, schedule vendors, do all of the things that you do when you manage a property, we only had to manage our property manager who did all of that for us, and he managed the 6 tenants instead of us. That made it so much better for us, and it did lessen our workload. We still have that property manager to this day, and we do spend a couple hours a week managing our property manager to make sure that our business is running to the standards that we want. We have the same control, but the management takes less of our day-to-day. So although you can limit your workload, it'll never be 100% passive. Now, the second lie is that you need a lot of money in order to invest in real estate. It's only for the wealthy, right? I honestly believe that when I got introduced to real estate investing, that I would have had to save up so much money and spend the next 5 years in order to purchase my first property, but I was so wrong. And as someone whose whole portfolio is built off of purchasing properties with low and no money down, I can attest to you that you do not need a lot of money, you just have to know different strategies in order to purchase. So you do not need a lot of money to invest, but you have to be smart about it. Let me explain. The first property that I ever purchased was $65,000. It was a duplex, and I only put $7,000 down on that property. The next property was a 4-unit apartment complex, which was purchased for $430,000, and I only put $25,000 down. And lastly, I bought another duplex for $0, and that purchase price was at a $270,000. And yes, you heard that right, I have a total investment of $0 in that property. The cherry on top is that all of these properties cash flowed from day one as well. And I promise you, you can do this as well. The 2 real strategies that I utilize, whether that to be together or separate, is the seller financing and the FHA 3.5% down primary home loan, to where you could house hack, live in 1 unit, rent out the others on a small multifamily property between 2 and 4 units. But if you want to learn more about the strategies that I use and my journey to financial freedom through real estate investing, consider subscribing to my channel. But the reason that I said you have to be smart in order to invest with low and no money down is because when you invest this way, you will be leveraged quite a bit, almost 100%. And by over leveraged, I mean if you have a property that's worth $300,000, you owe basically $300,000 on it. So no equity in the deal. To combat that leverage, you must make sure that these properties cash flow so they can sustain themselves and get yourself through hard times, whether that be a new roof needed on the property, if a tenant moves out for multiple months, or an unexpected repair comes up. Also, it wouldn't hurt if you purchased in a great location that was appreciating. Moving on to number 3, which is real estate investing is too risky. Now, I've found that there's only 3 types of people that actually say real estate investing is too risky and you shouldn't do it. The first being people that have never invested in real estate and only heard the horror stories that you hear online about tenants not paying rent. The next being a person who has a rental property that either was inherited or an accidental landlord. They didn't even want to be a landlord in the first place, and they just had a bad experience with it. And lastly, this one's funny but true. People that would go out and spend $60,000 on a brand new car just to drive it off the lot and then it be worth $50,000. But they'll say that buying an appreciating asset that cash flows is a bad investment. Look, there's a reason that 90% of millionaires become so from real estate. And that's not necessarily investing in real estate, but purchasing real estate and waiting and just paying it off and letting it appreciate. But just like everything, there is a right way and there's a wrong way to do something. If you buy a bad deal in a bad location and mismanage the property, yes, it can 100% bite you in the butt. But if you purchase in a great location, under market price, it cash flows, and there's job growth in the location that you purchase, then it's really hard to fail. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather spend $60,000 on a brand new cash flowing asset such as a rental property than purchasing a brand new car. Okay, rant is over. Number 4 is that renovations always add value. I cannot stress how important this one is. Just because you put money into a property to fix it up does not mean that equals appreciation in that property to where the value goes up. Meaning, if you purchase a $200,000 property and put $50,000 into it and you spend it on renovating the bathrooms and putting a huge hot tub in the backyard, that does not mean that that property is now worth $250,000, what you purchased it for, and the amount of money that you put into it. Based on the market, it could only mean that you raised it $20,000. So now it's worth $220,000 even though you put $50,000 into it. This is why you must consult a real estate professional before doing renovations on your property to force appreciation. And a perfect point to this is all of the horror stories that you hear on house flippers of how they put too much money into their properties, they purchase it at wrong prices, and now they have to sell it for less than what they owe on it, and they have negative equity in it. And the last but not least is invest in cash flow to become wealthy. You may have heard that cash flow is king, but it is not what makes you wealthy. Equity is. Equity is the difference between what a property is valued at and what you owe on it. Such as if you have a property for $200,000 and you owe $100,000 on it, that means you have an equity spread of $100,000. Now, I don't hate cash flow at all. I will not buy a rental property unless it cash flows. All I'm saying is that cash flow is not what's going to make you wealthy. It is supposed to sustain your business through the ebbs and flows of the real estate market. When it goes high and when it goes low, you're supposed to have cash flow set aside for any repairs, vacancies, or unexpected maintenance requests. On top of that, if you have more money left over after saving for all of those that I just mentioned, then that starts to be your income to where you could spend that on your personal life. But it will honestly take you so long and so many properties to become wealthy with just cash flow. It's the appreciation that you want to go after. So what you want to do is invest for cash flow and appreciation. By having equity inside of your properties, it can lead you to a number of things. You can pull out a home equity line of credit to reinvest into your business. You could do a cash out refinance, lower the interest rate, take money out, and then also invest that back in your business. Or you could sell it, do a 1031 exchange, and purchase a like-kind property that provides more cash flow and better appreciation. And that is really how you build and grow wealth with real estate investing. If you found this video entertaining or informational at all, I'd greatly appreciate if you subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Until next time, I will see you in the next video. Happy investing.